Hey you guys, this is Kelly of the Trendy Hippies team, and I wanted to share with you guys today. I just whipped up a homemade whipped body butter and wanted to show you guys real quick how I did it. I'm not going to actually make it right now because it takes a little bit of time, but I'm going to show you what I did and show you my finished product. And now I'm going to try to flip this thing around. I'm going to be real fancy and stick this in my box of Kleenex, you guys. I don't have all these fancy tools you're supposed to have to do periscopes. So let's see if this works. It's standing up in my Kleenex box. Okay, so I was inspired to start cleaning up all the toxins in our home by these books right here. These are the Chemical Free Home books by Melissa Pepping. She has a third one that's coming out that I think is focused on pregnancy and babies, pregnancy, labor, and delivery and babies. But I don't have that one because I'm done with that part of my life. I may get it anyways to learn a few things, but for now I just have the Chemical Free Home and the Chemical Free Home 2. There are tons and tons of great recipes in here. So this morning I thought, oh, I'm going to come make a new lotion using one of her recipes. And I flipped to it and it's like 2 pages long and it's kind of like a science experiment. You have to like know chemistry and there's phases, and I'm sure it's an amazing end product, and I'm sure it has a great lotion consistency, which is sort of what is always missing when you make your own homemade lotion just using coconut oil. But I honestly don't have the capacity for that today. I was home alone with my kids while my husband was out golfing, so that was just going to be too difficult. So I decided to experiment and try a few things. I had previously bought this African shea butter on Amazon, and I had never done anything with it. I bought it knowing I would someday probably make some good use of it. I've had it for several months. It's been sitting in my little oily, all natural hippie cabinet that I have, but I haven't done anything with it yet. So I thought, hey, I'll try that today. So I made this up. Maybe I didn't make it up, maybe other people do it, but I didn't look anything up. I just started experimenting. So I took equal parts of my coconut oil, which is solid at room temperature, and my shea butter, just equal parts. I didn't measure, guys. I just like literally grabbed some spoonfuls and put them in a glass jar like this. I'm lazy, I don't like to clean, so I recycle old glass jars and I mix up my homemade potions in these jars and then I toss them. I made the mistake the very first time I made something of using one of my pretty mixing bowls and some of my good silverware, and it was a real pain trying to get all the coconut oil and shea butter, or actually it wasn't shea butter, it was almond butter or something. I couldn't get it off and I ended up throwing several things away. So now I recycle old glass jars, spaghetti sauce jars, pickle jars, whatever you have, and I put it in, I made my own little double broiler. So I put some water on the stove and I put the equal parts of coconut oil and shea butter in there. And as it was sitting down in the pot, I was stirring it kind of constantly so that it would fully incorporate, but it was never boiling. It never got super hot. And in fact, once it was all fully incorporated, I stuck my finger in there. It was warm to the touch, but it wasn't hot. So then I added my essential oils. And what I decided to use today, I was making this for my daughter who has a really dry skin. That's why the shea butter was such a good idea for that. But I started with some carrot seed oil. I got this to make my own homemade sunscreen. It has some natural SPF in it, and I thought, hey, why not? If this is going to be her daily lotion, I'll throw that in there. She goes to the park every single day. Frankincense, of course, as we know, is great to support skin. I threw in some lavender. I threw in some tea tree oil, which is a Melaleuca alternifolia. And I don't like the way the tea tree or the carrot seed oil smell. They're both stinky. So I added a lot of geranium. This is sort of a luxury item, but I use it to scent some of my homemade items. And so I threw in lots of geranium. I would say I added about 10 to 12 drops of each of these, except for the Melaleuca. I added a little bit more because I'm really trying to do some great skin support for her. So once the coconut oil and the shea butter were incorporated in here and it was warm, not super hot, not boiling, I added all my essential oils and I stuck it in the fridge for about an hour and a half or 2 hours. I lost track of time. I was wrangling kids. And when it came out, it was solid. It had reconstituted. It was back to being solid, like it comes out of the container. So when you look up all these recipes online, they're going to say, get out your fancy stand mixer.
I don't have a fancy stand mixer. I don't have a stand mixer at all. I don't bake. Also, I'm really frugal, and so I don't want to spend a lot of money on something that I know is going to get all oogie with my homemade ingredients. So guys, I have like literally a $10 mixer from Walmart, and I just put one of the, what do you call those? Doohickeys, one of the mixing doohickeys in there, and stuck it straight down in here and whipped it this way after it came out of the fridge to make it kind of a whipped body butter. So like I literally just zhuzhed it around there for a good 5 minutes or so, just till I can get all the bits and pieces off the side of the jar. And I then scooped it out of there. I recycled an old glass container, and there's the finished product. Oh my God, it smells so good. That geranium and lavender together in there really are covering up the stinky smell of the tea tree and the carrot seed oil, and it smells delicious. Oh, I forgot to tell you one thing. I actually did add a drizzle while it was in the hot water of some sunflower oil, only because it was in one of Melissa Pepping's recipes and I had it and I was like, hey, why not? So I just added a drizzle. Again, y'all, I don't measure, so that's what I did. So it smells really good, and I'm going to make another batch of this for myself. And I was trying to think of other good oils that smell really good. I love all the smell of the citrus oils, but those, you want to be careful about putting those on your skin. They're photosensitive, so I don't want to sunburn myself. So I was trying to think of what's another one that I really love the smell of that I can incorporate into this. And I think in my next batch, guys, I'm going to use this Sensation massage oil. I love the way this smells, and actually on occasion I've been known to just squirt this on my legs out of the shower and use it as my moisturizer, my body moisturizer. But I think instead of adding the drizzle of the sunflower oil, or really any, you could use olive oil, almond oil, any oil, I think I'm going to try a few squirts of this because I think it will just smell so great as my daily lotion. Anyways, that's it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to post them in the comments. I didn't pay attention to your questions because I get distracted. But I'll check them. And otherwise, I'll post this to our team page after it expires from Periscope in 24 hours. Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend.